Okay, I want to talk about the Edward Big Balls Coristine story. If you guys are not aware, on August 3rd, 3 a.m. on a Sunday, he was supposedly assaulted by 10 or so juveniles in a carjacking. Let's get into it. If you guys don't know who Edward Coristine is, he is a former DOGE employee with the nickname Big Balls. And I mean, he got his early start working on Neuralink with Elon Musk, and he's notably known for being a staffer in the DOGE team, and he's currently working in the Social Security Administration. And the story is supposedly on Sunday, August 3rd, 3 a.m., Edward and his girlfriend are, I guess, walking to their car in Logan Circle in Washington, D.C., when a group of juveniles, I believe they said that they started across the street and they said, "Oh, hey, we want to jack that girl's car." And then they crossed the street. And that's when Edward shoved her into the car and proceeded to defend himself against the juveniles. The number of juveniles actually fluctuates. On one post, I saw it was 8. This comes from a fellow DOGE employee, like a friend of his that worked at DOGE as well. He's the one that took this picture here. This is the aftermath, the incident. So he took this picture, and in his post, he said that, he congratulates his friend for fighting off, all these assailants. 8, right? And then some of the reports are saying there's 10, and I saw another one that there were 12. So the number of assaultees fluctuates, right? Anyways, he fights them off, a 15-year-old girl and a 15-year-old boy, and were cops. And, at first, as this story was breaking out, no one knew that it was actually 8 or 12 juveniles. We just saw that it was 15-year-old boy, 15-year-old girl, and everybody was making fun of him for getting beat up by essentially 2 juveniles, 15-year-olds, right? And a girl, basically getting beat up by a girl. And this is Donald Trump's reaction to the news.
A young man who was beat up by a bunch of thugs in D.C. And either they're going to straighten their act out in the terms of government and in terms of protection, or we're going to have to federalize and run it the way it's supposed to be run.
I'm not saying that there's a conspiracy or this didn't happen. Obviously something happened. I'm just saying that there are a lot of question marks, I guess, I have about this whole situation. It just seems very odd. And where I started questioning everything was because of this picture here. I saw the story, I saw people covering it, and I was like, "Oh, this sounds terrible. That's awful." And then I read somewhere that the person that took this picture was a DOGE coworker. That started me thinking about the other things we know for sure what happened. This whole situation happened 3 a.m. on a Sunday. Now, I was young before, and we used to party late and whatnot, but 3 a.m. on a Sunday, what are you doing walking around the streets at 3 a.m. on a Sunday? That's the next thing I was thinking about. And then I started looking are there bars that are opened around there? Or are there nightclubs? Keep in mind, he's 19, so he's not going into a bar, I assume. So now I was thinking maybe there's a club or something that he could be going on. He's dressed in white pants. White pants to show blood, maybe? I don't know. It just seems very odd that even this picture, just looking at it, right? He's got white pants to show blood. He had a dark shirt on that he took off, so you can see more, it makes it look worse. I mean, keep in mind, I believe he had broken nose, black eye, and concussion. I believe that's what they said on the initial report, what he got at the very end of this skirmish. Uh, 3 a.m. Like, again, 3 a.m. at night on the floor. You just got bum rushed and shirts off. I've never been in this situation. You guys let me know if that's a natural thing. And then this got me thinking about the other part of the story where he puts his girlfriend in the car, right, to protect her from the juveniles. Um, I want to know. I couldn't find it. I want to know what kind of car he has because I know most modern cars. And I had to look this up. It says that 75% of vehicles sold now are now keyless, right? So since he's next to the car still and he just opened it and closed it, technically the car should be still unlocked. Again, someone can correct me, but this is where I'm trying to like imagine the whole situation. They come over, he goes, ah, and then he shoves her in there and closes the door. Right? I mean, I guess maybe she manually lock it, but since he's right next to the car, I'm assuming it should be still unlocked. Again, someone can correct me. So I'm like, that's kind of strange. There's 10 of them, right? I mean, I guess he's got an age advantage. He's 19, so he can fight off one or two. But 10 of them is a lot. I feel like 10 of them going all around him like that, he should be actually worse off. Um, the fact that he made it out with just a broken nose and a black eye, um, I don't know. That seems pretty good. But there's like I feel like someone would have been able to get into the car if they really wanted to. I don't know. Just another thought about what about the situation. It seems just very that part seems very strange. I think the main thing why I think it's strange is that it's a Doge employee, and it's the most famous Doge employee. The only other one that we know of besides Elon, right? There's a bunch of them, but he's like the most famous one, so it can generate headlines. And you kind of saw what Trump said about it earlier. He said he wanted to federalize the police in DC, and after this, he Trump posted this long post on Truth Social, right? Basically saying that Washington, D.C. is a crime ridden wasteland and they need to federalize the police department there so he can, take control of, the police force there to use. Um, like putting everything together, it seems like this was a ploy, a plan to make headlines for him to get justification to enact this plan. Because this is not something new. I believe he's mentioned it quite a few times that he wants to federalize the Washington, D.C. Police force. Oh, and one final note. One other thing that kind of bothered me a little bit about this is that there's no video of the attack. Um, Washington, D.C. has a gajillion cameras everywhere because it is the capital of the United States. So it's heavily surveillance. And the fact that there's no footage, I mean, maybe there is footage, they just haven't released it, but I find that kind of odd.